Hello everyone, DreadBC. Once again in my video, actually speaking aloud for the first time today. And, God, I didn't sleep worth a damn last night. But I'm okay. I woke up, which is good. If you don't wake up, it's usually not good. To an easy quest. 15 dead creatures is what we're after today. And that means it's time to show off Kaya's March. I have loved playing this deck up until about 2 days ago. And I don't know what it is, but about 2 days ago, this deck started getting trounced. I don't know why. I couldn't draw most of the time. Not every time, but most of the time is because I could not for the life of me draw a fourth land. I run 24 with a high end of 6 and a few things at the high end and quite a few things at 4 plus. I might need to run 25 lands. But all in all, I think with the treasure maps and the stuff in the lower end down here, I should be okay. But basically, I want to draw at least 6. I mean, 7 or 8 is fine, but I also want to have a lot of spells because... Okay, we're going to go through the list and I'll explain it. 3 Fountains of Renewal, 3 Dawn of Hope. This little combo is amazing enough that I'm actually considering figuring out what to cut to put 4 of each in. If you don't know the combo, you gain a life at the beginning of your turn with Fountain of Renewal, then you pay 2 to draw a card at the beginning of each turn, so you're drawing 2 cards a turn at the cost of 2 mana. Against control decks, you bury them early in card advantage, and against aggro decks, you draw into more removal. 2 cast downs and 2 Moment of Cravings for quick target removal early on. The Moment of Craving is gaining more favor now that mono red is back. Everyone's trying to grind mythic. I don't know why they're doing it in normal play mode, but I guess, people got to do their quests. 3 treasure maps are dig spells that also ramp you. They're amazing in this. I don't run 4. I don't have 4. I could make the 4th, but I think 3 is fine. It's not one of those things that you absolutely have to have 4 of, but if you did run 4, I would not fault you. 2 Mortifies for enchantment removal mainly, because if you'll notice, we have a buttload of creature removal. 3 Ixalan's Bindings to completely shut out Gates decks. And, well, obviously other things, but this is the biggest hoser for the Gate deck, period. You let them have all their guild summits they want to. You use Mortify on those, that's fine. Then you binding their sheep, you binding their, the 8/8s. God, every time I try to record something, I forget the names of cards. And yeah, they have basically nothing. They can hit you with large explosions, but that's pretty much it. You end up gaining a lot of life in this deck, so they have to explode for a whole lot. Vraska's Contempt, Planeswalker removal, life gain, it's everything you want it to be. This card's sort of seeing a little less favor lately, but I can't run black without it, and the 3 copies in here is basically what I would want to run in most decks. 3 Wilderness Reclamations, it seems like it's out of place here, but because we don't have any counter magic to use on their turn, but this allows you to double up on your target removals, or you can Wrath and then untap in Vraskas, so it actually does have another use, and we'll get to the main use for here in a second. Of course, we said Kaya's Wrath and 2 Cleansing Novas. You almost never in this deck... Hang on, I'm trying not to sneeze. Maybe? Okay, false alarm. You almost never in this deck choose Destroy All Artifacts and Enchantments because this deck runs a lot of those. That's not to say that you can't, because there are times when they will use something along the lines of a Conclave Tribunal on something important to you, or their own Ixalan's Binding, and you can still get value out of it that way, but for the most part, you're going to be using this to just clear the creatures out. Ethereal Absolution, it seems a little bit off in this deck, but actually I've really enjoyed this card, and I kind of want to build an entire deck around just running 4 of this thing. I love this card so much. It is just damn good. The exiling cards from an opponent's graveyard ability is amazing versus the Sultai matchups and the Golgari matchups. And not only that, just creating blockers. And once you land this against mono red, Steamkin is off the grid. Firebrand is useless. What's the other one they run? The Viashino Pyromancer hits. It's basically a 2-mana shock, which makes it infinitely worse. The only thing that they can stick are the Chain Whirlers, which then become 2/2s, which aren't nearly as bad, and the Gitu Lava Runners, which become 1/1s, which again aren't as bad. If you land 2 Absolutions, they can do basically nothing creature-wise. They have to rely on burn. And when you've got, stuff like Moment of Craving, Fountain of Renewal, Vraska's Contempt, you're gaining enough life to get you out of the woods a lot. 2 Immortal Suns, because we run no Planeswalkers. I actually tried to run a couple Kayas in here. Kaya herself didn't work out as well, so Kaya's March came specifically from the name Kaya's Wrath. Immortal Sun shut off Planeswalkers mainly, but once this card hits, you're getting so much card advantage, you just feel good. And it also buffs creatures. Now, what creatures do we run? 2 March of the Multitudes. Remember that Wilderness Reclamation? Against certain decks, you're going to use the Wilderness March combo. Red decks mainly. Mono red, because they don't run board sweeps. They run target removal. And if they want to spend 5 cards killing 5 creatures, let them. That's so good. That's like 15 damage that didn't go to your face. Against black with control-y cards like Cry the Carnarium, Ritual of Soot, stuff along those lines, you probably don't want to do this during the Wilderness Reclamation phase. You want to do this at the end of their turn and get them that way. Mono green, this just creates a buttload of blockers. Blue green, they can Rivers Rebuke it, but that's not, whatever. The Rivers Rebuke is going to be much worse because it's going to get all these other things back to your hand that you're going to have to cast. But anywho, this is one of the main win cons, Dawn of Hope tokens being the other one. So we have basically 5-7 token creators, and that's generally how we get the win. Well, against mono red, if you stabilize, they quit. They can't beat you if you stabilize and start gaining life every turn, especially with Fountains of Renewal, and they just scoop it up. And then a bunch of lands. So what we're trying to do: control the board, create dudes, attack in. Seems pretty simple. Okay, my explanation is done. That was long-winded. I apologize. Hopefully it works out today. Like I said, it's been having a little bit of rough luck past few days, but we will prevail. I'm not going to let this video go without at least one good win, so, Alright. And of course, the name of the game today is to kill 15 opponents' enemies. Alright, we only ever need 1 green mana, but that's okay if we have multiple green mana. We just generally don't cast 2 green spells a turn. The only 2 spells that we have are green are March of the Multitudes and Wilderness Reclamation. But we do have our black mana next turn as well. Seeing what we're up against. If it's mono blue, I'm gonna crave the first thing. Hinterland Harbor. Okay, that's that tells me we need to just go ahead and treasure map. Stopping on the upkeep to make sure we thin out our Doral. This is Sultai for shizzle. Alright, what do we got here? Swamp, I'll keep it. Alright, into the main phase. And we'll play... Let's get the Sunpetal Grove out there. If they play Jade Light Ranger, I'm going to crave it in response. If they play Branch Walker, probably the same thing. Okay. Or if they just do nothing and attack for 1, I'm fine with that too. Stop on upkeep. Really? Well, that's not what Sultai wants to be doing on turn 3, I know for sure. Dawn of Hope, once again, keeping it on top. Because they don't play... They play Assassin's Trophies. I guess we're going to find out if they have an Assassin's Trophy. No, I'm going to leave up Moment of Craving for now. I think that's actually fine. And then once again, stop on upkeep. I probably should have buried that swamp, but I really wanted the double black. Ooh, Karn, looky there. Okay. Yeah, he's going to resolve. I was hoping it would be a creature that I could kill, but you know, you don't always get what you want. Revealing the top two. You can have a Llanowar Elf. It doesn't seem very good here. Because once again, on turn, what are we going on? 5? Llanowar Elf is not your key play. Yeah, taking the damage. My turn, thanks. Go ahead and trigger you. See what we got coming. Vraska's Contempt. Perfect timing. And of course I tapped my black mana. So that's unfortunate for me. Is it worth killing that to cost us a treasure? I think it is. I'm going to do it just because I don't think it's going to make an enormous difference if I don't. But I don't want him to dig any further. And land for turn. Pass it on over. And forgive my sniffles and head cold sounds. My natural state of being says that when you get a head cold, alright, we are going to pop another one here. So he's costing us some cards doing this, which is unfortunate. But, oh yeah, that's going to be a problem. Luckily we've got this here cleansing Nova. I just didn't want that Wild Growth Walker to get any bigger right now. But yeah, my natural state of things is when I get better from a cold, it takes me way too long to show signs of being actually better. Alright, let's play our Wombo combo down. And hopefully that Dawn of Hope survives. If not, we'll just get another land and then March of Multitudes for large numbers. Hope he doesn't have finality. Yep, that's going to resolve. But that means he has no green mana with which to cast Assassins. Oh man, those are the two cards we want to see them have in hand, I tell you. Alright, it gets bigger. That's fine. It's a big boy. You know, you'll hit us for 5, but we're going to gain some life. It's no big deal. No big deal. Taking 5. Kaboom. And my turn. We are going to draw the card here. Hopefully we're going to draw a land. If we do draw a land. Well, let's see what we draw first, because I'm definitely gonna use the ability on Dawn of Hope. And yep, pay that. And that, I don't want to tap out my double black. And there we go, Kaya's Wrath. Oh man, I should have used the colorless. Oh gosh, that is unfortunate. But what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to binding that Wild Growth Walker, I think. Do I binding the Walker or do I wait for him? Oh man, I think I'm going to go ahead and cost myself the extra card draw. And just Wrath here. Yeah, I gotta do it. I gotta save life. I want him to play out his Crisis next turn so I can binding it. Alright, that's a Crisis. 4/5. He's gonna draw 2, gain 2. Or Llanowar Elf and then a Crisis for 4, draw 2, gain 2. I don't... Either line is fine, I suppose. Or he's going to do it next turn. I don't know what he's doing. There it is. Okay. Yep. Yeah, let us use that mana and the white mana. Draw a card. Draw a card. Perfect, perfect. Now we don't have to worry about tapping our black mana. We have double black regardless. Binding comes out. No more crises for you. This also gives him more reason to use enchantment removal on the Binding than on the Dawn of Hope. Wild Growth Walker numero dos. Attack for 1? Sure. You get in for 1. Then think about it. Second main phase is important. Alright. We're just going to tap. I'm still going to tap this land instead, because I want to leave as much black open as possible. Alright, do you have a response to this? I mean, you keep looking at it. Ooh, okay. Cast down. I can allow cast down too, I think. I'm going to leave the elf as is. I'm just going to cast down the walker. I'm going to do it... Do I have a reason to wait? I mean, not really. Yeah, I'll do it now. This is one of those things I could do it during his upkeep, but I want to have... I mean, it's not going to make a difference in this case, because he's not running counterspells. Guaranteed. What we're looking for at this point is... Jeez, I don't know if there's really a good thing we're looking for. We could just wait until we stabilize and have him pass turn back to us so he can march a multitude, or we can march a multitudes and then swing. What I really want to get is a pump spell. So, I guess Immortal Sun or the Ethereal Absolution. Either of those would be just fine and dandy draws. Alright, look at our lands. Okay. My turn. Tap the white, tap that. There it is. Alright. And we will go ahead and just do this now, because he doesn't have a whole lot of haste. I'm not too worried about it. Play the Immortal Sun out. Once again, if he's going to kill something, this definitely incentivizes him not killing Dawn of Hope. But what this really does is shuts off any chance of Vraska or Vivian doing any kind of work for him. So he now has 3 dead potentials in there. Hydroid Crisis cannot be used. Vivian cannot be used. Well, it can be cast, but it can't be used. Alright, what you got for us? I'm going to use the Temple Garden this time, and I'm going to tap it for green mana. Now watch what happens when I tap it for green mana to draw with Dawn of Hope. This is a neat interaction not a lot of people know about. If you tap for white mana, it just draws. Opponent's really thinking hard about this trigger. I know, it's a new one. He hadn't seen it this game. Alright, tap for green mana, draw, and then you see it draws your land every time. A lot of people don't know that. And there's a Cleansing Nova. So we're drawing 3 cards a turn right now. We are not under any real duress to do anything, so I'm just going to pass turn back and start making Dawn of Hope tokens. Or I could always just Vraska's Contempt something and then draw from it with Dawn of Hope. If he turns that guy sideways, yeah, we're tokening. Token up. Block. We don't run counter spells, so if he doesn't kill this outright, I'm just going to draw a card off of it. Does he care that much about his Llanowar Elf is the question. He does. Damn, look at this guy. Using a Vraska's Contempt to take out a token and save his Llanowar. Merfolk Branch Valkyr. Once again, okay, so that's the card we don't want to see. more black mana. I'm not going to play the green source this time. Actually, I think I am going to play the green source because now... Yeah. Play the green source, it enters tapped. I've got multiple Wraths in hand, and I'm going to have to discard end of turn. I'm going to just clear the board. And leave it at that. Still holding up a Vraska's Contempt. Oh, devastating. Devastating. Yep, let's go ahead and get that black mana out then. I don't know why he hit that one instead of the Treasure Cove. I mean, it just seems to me like the Treasure Cove in a deck that clearly runs Treasure Map. I mean, there's proof of it that we run Treasure Map because that's the flip side of this card. Why he would hit the one thing that was black-green. Pass. Yeah, if that's all he's going to do, I'm fine with it. We're going to draw 2 once again. Ooh, all 3 of our bindings in play now. Well, we're going to play a game of if you want to go big, you're going to have to pay a lot of mana to do it. What you got for us? You got like a dive down or something? I thought so. And then, I guess we're just going to discard into turn. No reason to go off the wall or anything. What I am going to do is I'm going to let him cast something, and then I'm going to just throw some Dawn of Hope tokens down and hope that I can get that finality out. Oh, wait, did he bury the finality? Because it should show in his hand, right? Didn't he reveal Find Finality off the top? I didn't see what happened to it. It's not in his graveyard. Did he get exiled? No. He should have it in his hand. Or did he put it to the bottom somehow? Or did it get shuffled back? Who knows? Wait a minute. Was it on top and then he Field of Ruin? You know what? I have no idea what happened with his Find Finality. I know he had it. Opponent is banking in on them timeouts there. I wonder if I've irritated him to the point where... Alright. I'm going to do this now. Just to try and get more cards out of his hand. Alright. I guess that's an option. Tap the Temple Garden. Ah, see, didn't draw the mana that time. That's weird. Huh. That's a bug. It's supposed to have drawn mana when I did that. Purely a bug. Oh, there it is. That's what it was. See, it ordered the triggers wrong. That's what it was. I'm sorry, everybody. Let's see if we can get in for 2 and draw again. Got to be careful about how many cards we draw here. I mean, we're still fine. We're not in danger of losing to that, but... Gain life, draw some card. Draw some card. See? Tap for green, draw land off the top. I think I'm just going to end the turn as is. No reason to go nuts. We'll be discarding a land, and I don't think I need a Cleansing Nova. I've got a Vraska's. Let's get rid of one of the Wraths. Alright, what you got for us? I'm hoping in his hand is like 2 Incubation Druids and 3 Hydroid Crazy. Okay, he's done. He's, yeah, El Dunno. Alright, we managed to kill 6 creatures with that. Yeah, admittedly, this deck does do a lot of exiling, which does not count as killing. I'm not a huge fan of that, but we get the job done anyway over time. Sorry, I'm trying to respond to a text message. We've got a... okay, this is a decent hand. We need to draw another black source, but that's okay. Oh, wait, that's Ixalan's Binding, not Dawn of Hope. Nope, no worries. There's our other black source. And there's tapped. Not going to pay the life to kill the Lava Runner. This is probably going to be a loss. We do have 2 modes of life gain. If he plays Steamkin, I will Moment of Craving. Okay. Shock. Footlight Fiend. This is different. Okay. Honestly, there's no difference between shocking here and not. If he wants to deal the extra... I mean, this would save us 1 damage and shock us for 2 if we did that, so... I don't know what he's doing over here, but he should have played stuff beforehand, I feel like. See, now I'm glad I held that Craving to stop that guy, too, because he's definitely a 2-2. And it's tapped. We're just going to Craving this guy now, because he's guaranteed to be a 2. He has to actually cast another spell to enable these. This is still going to be really hard to win. Hey, the last thing was not a spell. I can deal with that. And that is not going to allow us to cast Vraska's Contempt. So I'm going to do this. And I'm going to cast... that deals the damage regardless. I'm going to cast down the Lava Runner now. This guy can start pinging us if he really wants to. I'm trying to get to next turn so I can Cleansing Nova. Because this guy looks like he's on mostly creatures. Alright, we're going to shock, go to 5. He's going to ping us. We're going to go to 4. Let's Nova. This turn, basically, he's just got to draw a burn spell. Of any kind, and we're dead. Firebrand for 2. We can actually sort of stabilize here. At 1. Oh, he's got the burn. Why didn't he just cast the Wizard's Lightning? Why would you slow roll it? That's whatever. That's mono red, folks. That's mono fucking red right there. Admittedly, he was playing a bad version of it. It's just I misread our opening hand. I thought that was a Dawn of Hope. And that wouldn't have made a difference. If that was a Dawn of Hope instead of an Ixalan's Binding, it would not have made a difference. I probably would have hesitated about keeping it simply because of that, though. But that was... I mean, what are you going to do? It's mono red. Fucking mindless nonsense. Okay, we got a Dawn of Hope and a treasure map in our opening hand, as well as a land that's not a shock land. That's another thing. I wish one of those lands that we had wasn't a shock land. Mortify. Yeah, we'll keep this. Open on this to make him think these are our most important colors. We don't need double black on turn 2 ever. Guildgate. God, let this be the Gates deck. And not just Golgari running cheaper lands. No, it looks like it's Golgari. Gorgarly. As opposed to shocking here, I'm going to play the treasure map out. We'll see what happens. I may not need to mortify something next turn. I'm more likely to set up a Kaya's Wrath on turn 4. Alright, if that's all he's going to do, I'm fine with this. Moment of Craving will stay right on top. Because we still have 2 lands to play. Let us do just that. Actually, do I shock here? No, we're not going to shock here. If he plays something that gets big, we'll just Wrath next turn. If he plays something small, we can Craving it whenever. We're just trying to preserve life totals at the moment. Ravenous Chorpacabra. Not going to do a whole lot right here. In fact, so little, I'm just going to use the Dawn of Hope, and I could have done this on upkeep, but we'll do it now. I'm fine drawing that swamp. I'm actually also fine drawing that, because that's one thing that we need. And we're just going to play our tap land and be done. Alright, next turn is likely going to be a Wrath. Seeing, it depends again once on what he plays. Oh, really? You're just going to do stone nothing this whole game. March number 2. Wait, that's the first one. Didn't draw it yet. Should have waited. No big deal. Draw for turn. If all you're going to do is a lot of nothing, I'm going to cast this, I'm going to cast this land for 0. Any responses? No. I think I'm going to leave it as is. Dawn of Hope token, possibly, or hell, just Moment of Craving, draw a card. I'll crave the Chupacabra if I need to. I don't know what his game plan is, but pass to attackers. Okay, so no Vivian this turn. Unless he's got the land in hand, in which case, whatever. We'll figure out a way to deal with it when it comes to that. Alright. Fog out that damage, fog out his damage, draw an extra card. And now we've got an answer to a second main phase Planeswalker. Branch Walker, not a problem. Draws a land, even less of a problem. We're about to 2-for-1 him this turn. By just saying, Absolution, go. Now, all of his fancy schmancy... He's saying good game. I guess he doesn't like that. All of his Explore package is basically turned off. Jade Light Ranger is a 2-1. It comes into play, dies instantly. Merfolk Branchwalker, 2-1. Comes into play, dies instantly. Oh, Fine Broker. Well, that's going to get you back not a whole lot. The only thing he can get that will come into play is Chupacabra, unless... Yeah, okay. That's fine. I can deal with you. My turn. Draw from Treasure. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the better land in play, cuz. And that'll be it for now. I think I'm going to make him want to kill things. Get rid of the elf. Make a dude. Get rid of the branchwalker. Make a dude. This is meant to get things out of his hand like Fine Finality, stuff like that. I want him to cast that Chupacabra and think he's getting away with something, like he's getting something good out of it. Murder. See, exactly. That's why I did that. That is a bad play. You should not be using a murder there. You're at 20 life. There's no reason to think that that's going to save you a lot. I mean, unless he really seriously thinks I'm going to do something terrible to him next turn with a 2-2 in the air. yeah, nothing else to do, I guess. He used all of his mana to do, well, all of his viable mana to do that. Let's see what we draw. Treasure map? Calling treasure map. Ah, so close. What we got over here, just that? Not worried about that. I mean, I could binding that, but why? Well, because it's doing it during this main phase. Let's go ahead and do that so we can't just do it again. It is still a 2-3 after all. Get it out of the way. Okay. Get enough. I think we completed our quest. Boom. So that, my friends, is Kaya's March. Mono red. That's our biggest problem. It might be worth dropping the cast downs for extra Moment of Craving. It might also be worth 4 Fountains of Renewal and cutting down one of the Moments of Craving. It's just hard to win against that deck. I honestly feel like in a best of 3, this would be better against Mono Red because our sideboard would have things like Revitalize, ×4. Actually, do we have a sideboard? Oh, we actually I didn't even realize I'd created a sideboard for this. Yeah, I would change this quite a bit. So the 2 Moments of Craving are there in the sideboard. Would bring those in. Bring in the 2 Revitalize. Gaia's Blessing, I don't know if it needs 3 in the sideboard, but against Mill, this is pretty good. I'd say probably 2. Nullhide Ferox, this is versus the heavy discard decks, the Dimir. Carnage Tyrant versus any control is just great. And 4 Duresses versus most everything nowadays. I swear. Duress is so good. Think about it. Red, you Duress them, you gain 3 life. This is basically a healing salve at that point. And against mono red, and you get a card out of their hand to do it. The against mono blue, you take out, I mean seriously, any of their good spells, their counter magic, their Curious Obsession. Against control, any number of things up to planeswalkers. You know what Duress does. And yeah, that's the sideboard I sort of worked out. I mean, I could go more with a few more one-ofs here and there. Maybe drop a Gaia's Blessing, and I don't know what else I would add, to be honest with you. There's so many ways in these colors to go. Maybe a 3rd March of the Multitudes or a 3rd Ethereal Absolution, but I think that would just raise your curve a little bit too much. But it seems to run okay most of the time. We actually had really good luck recording today. Normally, the thing that beats it, if it's not mono red, is just land draws are not consistent sometimes. But we had pretty good ones today. Anywho, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the deck. If you have any changes that you would make, or if you actually want to try building and running it, let me know how it goes for you and what changes you did make. I am always happy to have constructive criticism. And yeah, look forward to comments if you have any. And feel free to ask questions. I do my best to answer them. Good luck out there. Take care, and may your top decks be sweet.